Wednesday, the 28th of June. Countdown to the end of Putin has begun, Kyiv officials say. Welcome to Global Voice. Attention in the Ukrainian capital has been squarely fixed on the mutiny of the Wagner Group, its leader Yevgeny Prigozhin, and its consequences for Vladimir Putin and the conduct of the war in Ukraine. The drama over the border in Russia has hardened opinion in Kyiv that Putin's time as Russia's president is coming to an end. I think he has started the countdown, said Andriy Yermak, President Zelensky's closest advisor. At a briefing in Kyiv, he recalled the year Russia first invaded Ukraine and annexed the Crimean Peninsula. What Ukraine has seen since 2014 has become clear to the whole world, Yermak said. This Russia is a terrorist country whose leader is an inadequate person who has lost his connection with reality. The world must conclude that it is impossible to have any kind of serious relationship with that country. Senior Ukrainian officials who spoke to the BBC in Kyiv argued President Putin could not bear a catastrophic loss of authority. It started, they said, with his disastrous decision to mount a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February of last year. The Wagner mutiny and Prigozhin's denunciation of the Kremlin's justification for the war, they said, eliminated what remained of Putin's chances of holding out. The Putin regime, one of them insisted, cannot be saved. It is vital to remember that whatever Ukrainians, especially those who rule the country, say about their Russian enemies comes in the heat of a fight they see correctly as a fight for national survival. The Ukrainians have waged a clever media war and are remarkably consistent in the messages they deliver to their own people and their Western allies, as well as their enemies in Moscow. Illusions must play a role in the assessments they share with journalists, but it's still worth taking the time to learn his views on the crisis that has engulfed the presidency of his mortal enemy, Vladimir Putin. Without a doubt, he faces the most serious challenge to his authority since he assumed the presidency in 2000. Other top officials in Kyiv say they are convinced Putin is opposed by informal but organized networks of disenchanted insiders. President Zelensky and his advisors want the summit to provide them with a firm and unequivocal path to NATO membership. They believe the best response to instability in Russia is to present an iron wall to Moscow. But the uncertainty surrounding President Putin and his regime, almost a year and a half after a disastrous war and after the Wagner drama, could fuel the anxiety of those NATO countries that would prefer the war to end at the negotiating table, not on the battlefield.